I want to use this opportunity to thank my husband, Minho, for the good care of our family.
Lovely viewers, gather around because today's story isn't just romantic. It's the kind of emotional whirlwind that sweeps you off your feet and makes you believe in love all over again. What happened at Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo's anniversary party has taken over every social platform, every fan page, every timeline, and let me just tell you, her words to him, absolutely beautiful. The kind of beautiful that makes an entire room go silent. The kind of beautiful that goes viral within minutes. And today, I'm bringing you the full emotional ride exactly as fans experienced it. So settle in, relax, and get ready to feel like you were right there in the room with them, watching the moment unfold. The anniversary party was supposed to be small, intimate, and private, a quiet celebration of a couple whose love story has captivated millions. Only close friends, a few family members, and trusted staff were invited. But as always, whenever Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo appear together, magic happens. Guests later said that from the moment they walked in hand, the entire atmosphere shifted. Sparkling lights, soft music, elegant decor. Yet nothing was as captivating as the way they kept looking at each other like no one else existed. Everything was going perfectly normally until the moment Song Hye Kyo stood up with a glass in her hand and said she wanted to make a short toast. People expected a simple thank you. Maybe a cute joke about Minho forgetting dates. Maybe a gentle tease about their first year together. But what came out of her mouth was something so raw, so heartfelt, so deeply personal that even staff members who didn't understand Korean said they felt the emotion in their bones. Minho, who had been laughing 1 second earlier, suddenly froze. Not out of fear, but because he didn't expect what she was about to say. She took a slow breath, smiled softly at him, and in the quietest, sweetest voice she began. Minho-ah, you have given me something I thought I had lost forever, the ability to love fearlessly again. The room went silent. Cameras went up. Glasses stopped midway. Even Minho blinked as if he couldn't believe she was saying this publicly. She continued, her voice shaking slightly, but filled with certainty. You walked into my life when I was still learning how to breathe again, and instead of rushing me, you waited. You waited for me to trust you. You held my hand when the world was loud, and you stayed beside me when everything felt uncertain. I want everyone here to know that you didn't just become the man I love. You became the man who healed me. At this point, several guests were already wiping tears. One fan who later leaked the audio clip to social media wrote, I don't know how Minho didn't break down right there. The love in her voice was unbelievable. Minho himself looked stunned. His eyes were watery, his jaw tightened, and his hand, the one holding his glass, trembled slightly. But Hye Kyo wasn't finished. She placed her glass down, stepped closer to him, and said the words that instantly went viral. You taught me that love doesn't have to hurt. And for that, for you, I will always be grateful. You could feel the collective gasp from everyone present. Those words spread like wildfire across online communities. Fans clipped the audio, added subtitles, and within minutes hashtags related to her speech skyrocketed to the top of trending lists. People began quoting her sentence by sentence, some even calling it the most sincere declaration from her in years. But let me take you deeper into the moment, because the real magic happened in the seconds after she finished. Minho didn't speak right away. He just stared at her, almost as if he was trying to memorize the exact moment forever. Then he reached out, placed a hand on her cheek, and whispered something that made her smile through teary eyes. A guest close enough to hear said his voice was soft, trembling, and full of emotion. I love you more than anything, Hye Kyo. Thank you for choosing me. And then, with the entire room watching, he pulled her into a warm, long embrace that had fans screaming online. The couple looked like the world around them had disappeared, just two hearts beating in the same rhythm. Music started playing softly in the background. People applauded. Some shouted, "Kiss! Kiss!" And yes, they did. A gentle, emotional kiss that felt more like a promise than a performance. A moment full of tenderness and gratitude. But what truly sent fans into meltdown mode wasn't just the speech or the kiss. It was the way Minho held on to her afterward. Not letting go. Not stepping back. Just holding her like she was the safest place in the world. Clips of that moment spread everywhere. Fans called it the purest form of love. Others said, "This is what real healing looks like." Some even joked, "Now I want love or nothing at all." But what makes her words so powerful is the history behind them. Anyone who has followed Song Hye Kyo knows she has remained private, guarded, and incredibly strong through years of noise, heartbreak, and public pressure. For her to stand in a room full of people and admit she had been afraid, hurting, and healing, that alone was rare. For her to credit Minho for giving her a new beginning, that was a declaration fans never saw coming. And Minho's reaction, priceless. You could tell those words meant everything to him, that he wasn't just flattered but deeply moved. People who know him said he replayed the moment in his head for the rest of the night. After the toast, they danced slowly, holding each other close. Guests said Hye Kyo kept leaning her head on his shoulder, while Minho whispered little things to her that made her smile over and over. They looked like a couple who had crossed storms together and finally found calm waters. And the internet. Oh, the internet exploded. Fans across the globe shared the clip with captions like, "She finally said it. And it was perfect. This is real love, not drama love. He healed her, she chose him. I'm crying. I've waited years to hear her say something like this." Forums, fan pages, and TikTok edits flooded timelines. Even non-fans admitted the moment touched them. Some said it restored their faith in love. Others called it the most vulnerable and beautiful thing Hye Kyo has ever expressed publicly. And through all of this, what stands out most is how authentic the moment felt. It didn't look rehearsed. It didn't feel scripted. It was a woman confessing her truth to the man she loves, and letting the world witness it. Lovely viewers, moments like this remind us why so many people root for these two. Their chemistry, their quiet understanding of each other, their gentleness, and the way they hold each other through both joy and pain. It's something truly special. And if this anniversary celebration is anything to go by, their love story is only getting deeper, more emotional, and more inspiring as time goes on. Because just when everyone thought the emotional highlight had already passed, something even more heart-melting happened. And trust me, if the first part made you tear up, this continuation might make you hold your chest. After their emotional kiss and that warm embrace that had everyone cheering, the atmosphere in the room shifted again. But this time into something softer, almost magical. The kind of soft glow that fills a room right after two people open their hearts in front of everyone. The music played gently, lights dimmed slightly, and the couple swayed slowly for a moment before returning to their seats. But here's the part that didn't go viral. The moment fans didn't see in the original clips. Only a few witnesses later shared it, and it's one of the sweetest details of the night. As they sat down, Minho didn't let go of Hye Kyo's hand, not even for a second. Their fingers stayed intertwined under the table, and he kept looking at her with this mixture of pride, gratitude, and disbelief that she had just said those words about him publicly. People who were seated close by said he kept whispering little things to her like, "Are you okay? You were so beautiful. I'll never forget what you said." And each time she just smiled softly. That calm, warm smile fans know so well, and squeezed his hand back. Then something unexpected happened. One of Minho's longtime friends stood up and said he wanted to give a toast of his own. Everyone got quiet again, thinking it would be a simple congratulations speech. But instead, he looked at Minho and Hye Kyo with sincere eyes and said, "I've known Minho for years. I've seen him happy, I've seen him excited, and I've seen him dream big. But tonight, this is the first time I've seen him fulfilled." The entire room murmured with emotion. Hye Kyo lowered her gaze, touched and shy. Minho tightened his grip on her hand again, almost as if he wanted to reassure her that her presence was the reason for that fulfillment. Another guest, one of Hye Kyo's closest stylists, chimed in and added with a gentle laugh, "I've known Uni through many seasons of life. And let me tell you all, this is her happiest season. This man beside her is part of that happiness." People clap. Some edition. A few even laughed through tears. And in that moment, it wasn't just about their love. It was about the people around them recognizing how perfectly they fit together. But the night didn't end there, lovely viewers. Not even close. Because when the party finally began to wind down and guests were preparing to leave, Minho did something that none of the attendees expected. Something small, intimate, but meaningful enough that it became the second wave of viral content the next day. He stood up, lightly tapped his glass and said, "I wasn't planning to speak tonight, but after what she said, I can't stay quiet." Everyone turned to him instantly. The room fell completely silent again. He looked at Hye Kyo, not the audience, not the cameras, just her, and began speaking in the softest, most heartfelt voice fans have ever heard from him. "You say I healed you, but what you may not know is that you healed me too. You taught me patience, you taught me gentleness, and you taught me that love doesn't need to be loud to be strong. It only needs to be true." Hye Kyo's eyes instantly filled with tears. Several guests gasped. Even the staff at the venue paused what they were doing. Minho continued, "We are standing here today, celebrating another year together, not because we were perfect, but because we chose each other, even on the days it was hard, even when the world was watching, even when people misunderstood us. And I'll keep choosing you. Every day. Every year. For as long as you'll let me." Those words, those specific words, were the ones that sent fans into a meltdown the next morning when the leaked audio surfaced online. People described his voice as soft but shaking, deeply emotional, and the sound of a man speaking to the love of his life. And the moment he finished speaking, Hye Kyo reached up, wiped away a tear and mouthed, "Thank you." Not loudly, not dramatically, just tenderly, like a whisper of the heart. The next part, lovely viewers, is where the night becomes even more precious. As guests started leaving one by one, Minho gently wrapped his arm around Hye Kyo's shoulders, guiding her toward a quieter corner of the venue. Someone who accidentally walked past them described the scene so beautifully that fans have been quoting it ever since. They looked like two people falling in love for the first time all over again. Minho brushed a strand of hair behind her ear, leaned close, and whispered something only she could hear. Whatever he said made her laugh softly, then hide her face in his chest out of shyness. One staff member said, "It didn't look like a famous couple having a glamorous moment. It looked like two partners who genuinely love each other. Simple, warm, real." They stayed in that corner for a few minutes, just talking, just being together. No cameras, no audience, just them. And then, here's the part fans absolutely melted over. Minho took off his jacket and placed it over her shoulders when he noticed she felt cold. She tried to protest, but he just gave her that playful yet gentle look he's known for. They walked out together like that, her wearing his jacket, him holding her hand tightly, looking nothing like two superstars and everything like two people deeply content with each other. Outside, a few fans who had been waiting respectfully at a distance caught a glimpse. They didn't scream or rush. They simply watched as Minho opened the car door for her, helped her inside with the utmost care, and smiled in that tender way only she brings out of him. One fan whispered, "If this is love, I want this kind. This exact kind." Lovely viewers, the world saw the viral clips, the speeches, the emotional quotes, but what the world felt was the sincerity behind it all. A love that wasn't performative. A love that wasn't for the cameras. A love that wasn't exaggerated. As their car pulled away from the venue, the world outside faded into darkness and soft city lights, and it suddenly felt like they were entering a completely different universe. A quiet, private little world meant only for the two of them. Witnesses who saw them drive off said Minho kept glancing at her every few seconds, smiling that gentle, relieved smile that comes after an emotional night. Inside the car, it was quiet for a moment. Not an awkward quiet, but the kind of peaceful silence that comes when two people understand each other perfectly without words. Hye Kyo leaned her head against the window for a moment, still wrapped in his jacket, and Minho reached across the seat, touched her hand lightly, and said softly, "You didn't have to say all those things tonight, but I loved every word." She turned to him, eyes soft, cheeks a little warm from the lingering emotion, and replied, "I said them because they're true. And because you deserved to hear them." He squeezed her hand gently, a quiet gesture full of pride and affection, and you could almost imagine the atmosphere inside that car. Soft, warm, full of gratitude and unspoken feelings finally released into the air. When they arrived home, one of their closest staff members later revealed that the moment they stepped inside, Minho didn't turn on the bright lights or rush to change clothes. Instead, he placed a hand on her waist, pulled her gently toward him and whispered, "Thank you for tonight. You gave me something I'll remember forever." And she just rested her forehead against his chest, letting out the softest breath, almost a sigh of relief, of happiness, of contentment. She said, "I meant every word I said. I just hope it didn't overwhelm you." He chuckled lightly, kissed the top of her head and said, "Overwhelm me? You made me the happiest man in the room." They stood there like that, holding each other in the quiet entrance of their home. For a long moment. No cameras, no guests, no pressure. Just two people basking in the afterglow of an emotional milestone in their relationship. Then something even sweeter happened. Minho gently took her hand and said, "Wait here." She looked confused but nodded, and he disappeared down the hallway. A minute later, he came back holding a small box. Not fancy, not extravagant, but something he had clearly prepared with his whole heart. He opened it slowly, revealing a delicate bracelet with a subtle engraving on the inside. Not a flashy diamond piece. Not something for paparazzi to photograph. Just a simple, meaningful gift. The engraving read, "Thank you for choosing me, M." Her eyes instantly filled with tears, but not the dramatic kind. The quiet kind that comes when love feels safe. She whispered, barely audible, "When did you prepare this?" He smiled shyly, rubbing the back of his neck. "A while ago. I was waiting for the right moment. And tonight felt right." She laughed through her tears and let him clasp it around her wrist. It wasn't about the price or the shine. It was about the meaning, timing, the intention behind it. Lovely viewers, imagine being in that room. The warm light, the soft hum of the night outside, and these two standing close, exchanging small, sincere gestures that meant more than any grand declaration. But the night didn't end there. After she put her arms around his neck in a gentle hug, Minho lifted her slightly off the floor in a playful spin, the kind that makes you laugh even when you've been crying. One staff member who accidentally walked in at that moment, and immediately walked back out, said, "They looked like teenagers in love. Just happy. Just free." They eventually settled on the couch, still holding hands, still smiling at each other like they were sharing a secret the world wasn't meant to see. And while they were wrapped up in their quiet moment, social media was exploding outside their walls. Fans across the globe were crying, laughing, rewatching clips, making edits, typing essays about their speeches. Within just an hour, hashtags about their anniversary toast shot to the top of global trends. People from different countries, speaking different languages, shared the same emotional reaction. Some wrote, "This is the most genuine moment we've seen from them. I can't stop crying. This is real love. I knew they were close, but this is soul-deep affection." She spoke from her heart. He responded from his soul. Even celebrities, quietly and anonymously, liked posts, shared clips, and commented with heart symbols. Their agencies, on the other hand, were stunned by the intensity of the public reaction. Staff from both sides were glued to their phones, watching the numbers rise. Millions of views, hundreds of thousands of comments, an outpouring of love from all over the world. Managers exchanged quick messages like, "Should we release a statement? Should we say something tomorrow? This is bigger than we predicted." But no official statements came that night. Because as the world buzzed loudly outside, inside their home was calm, warm, peaceful. Minho kissed her forehead softly and said, "I love the world, but right now I'm happy it's just us." She nestled against him, the bracelet gently glimmering on her wrist, and replied with a smile, "It's always just us, Minho. No matter what."